Hello and welcome to Barbatus Catholic Podcast, the show where two Mexican dads talk about faith, life, and culture. We are your hosts,
Gustavo
and Walter, and today we are going to talk about how Barbatus Catholic Podcast is 1 year old. But first, a word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by DiscountCatholicStore.com. They're your new go-to online shopping source for all traditional Catholic products. They have Catholic statues for indoor and outdoor use, statues from 8 inches to 24, 36, 48, and even 72 inches tall. DiscountCatholicStore.com is your source for traditional Catholic statues. You can get 15% discount on your first order with free shipping using the discount code BARBATUS. That is BARBATUS. Visit DiscountCatholicStore.com today and use discount code BARBATUS at checkout to get 15% off on your first order. And now to the show. And we're back.
Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to us. We are an infant podcast apparently, and we brought someone from retirement for
Out of retirement.
English is hard, man.
Out of retirement.
You may have heard him from podcasts like Barbatus Catholic Podcast. Ivan is with us.
Y ya llegó por el quien lloraban.
There you go. Cheers.
We got the full crew today. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to a year, guys.
Here's me not doing Exodus 90. Wait.
Exactly. It's a dispensation that is very special because it's just granted at my home when
Exactly.
someone is coming as a guest, because Ivan is too polite to decline good drink.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's a celebratory mood.
It is, man. I'm excited to be back.
50 episodes, gents.
50 episodes.
That is not
Good
nothing.
job, guys.
Look at us.
Look at us. Who'd have thought?
Not me.
Who'd have thunk it?
Oh, man.
Not I.
See, Father Klein doesn't know that reference. Just kidding.
Wait, does he?
I don't know. I'll tell you a story about Father Klein after we are done rolling regarding to the podcast. But wow, I cannot believe that that this lasted this long, and
year, man.
that we're doing episode number 50.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's kind of nuts.
That's no small task.
That is not nothing.
That is not nothing. It's something to some extent, but some people would say that it's something. But yeah, we are like Vicente Fernandez, R.I.P. Mientras la gente sigue aplaudiendo,
Yeah.
we're here. We don't know if you're clapping.
We should have brought a cake.
We should have brought a cake.
Ah, man.
But we're more of celebratory cocktails.
yeah.
Cake, alcohol.
Cake. It's the same
Tomato,
thing.
tomato,
Yeah.
Like we'll throw a candle inside this bad
It's
boy.
like they're both carbs. They're both carbs. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, we are so appreciative of you who are listening today, and we want to go over some of the things that we have done, take a walk down memory lane, even though we are very new in the podcast world. But do you guys want to know the top 10 episodes?
You know what? When you sent me the list and I was going through it,
did you think
I was
that
like,
was
really?
Yeah, I was surprised
Yeah,
too.
I was very surprised. I thought other episodes that I had in my mind would have been oh, this one, man, this, because
okay? So from the ones that are here, did you have one that you thought was going to be there on the list and didn't make it?
I think it was where is it? I was just the Heal Your Soul Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised about that one.
Well, it's number 7, but
Yeah, but still,
yeah,
it made the list.
It made the list.
Yeah, there was some that are I think this one's gonna make it, and then I didn't see it. It's huh. I kind of had a feeling that number 2 was gonna be on it.
Right. Episode 2.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we get some analytics from Red Circle, which is the platform that we use to host the podcast, and we are just basing this on number of downloads. And granted, first place and second place are our first and second episodes.
So they've been on there longer.
Longer, yeah. So they've been there a year. So I guess what I'm imagining, it's a theory that what happens is like people hear about us. They go listen to the first episode. They maybe listen to the second episode and then they lose interest.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have like a top 3 of your favorite ones?
Oh,
I don't know.
Dude, mine are probably is Gotsidences.
Really?
Yeah, I really
pretty
like
good.
that one. I feel that was a really good one. When we had Ryan on,
Yeah.
that was one of my favorites. And then I don't know why, but when we did Holy Week Part 2, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy Week
That was a
Part
really
2
cool one.
made it to the top 10. I thought that there was like well, speaking of coincidences, number 3 is episode 22, the spirituality of Solanus Casey, which I don't think it's a coincidence that it was like up there. And then that was like part of me was like, we need to talk more about Solanus Casey.
Totally.
We'll need to figure out how to like weave more episodes into the podcast for that. And I think like some of you mentioned Holy Week Part 2, Ivan, and that like made it to number 5. The Lent series made it pretty well. The Servant of Spirits.
Yeah,
I didn't think that was going to make it.
I thought like Cry Room was going to be up there. I like that one. Or
The Memories Catalog was another good one.
The Memories Catalog.
Yeah.
Like the 3 pillars of Lent fasting. That's when we got like actual microphones to start doing this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because we record the first 3 or first 2 with
First 3 with like lavalier mics, and it sounded so bad.
you can hear us breathing like so like
Ivan's beard like all scratchy and whatnot.
And we were in the boiler room.
We were. Yeah.
So that's a really good segue for like favorite podcast memories. It's like I remember Ivan saying like our knees are touching. And that
I wasn't lying.
Yeah.
No,
They really were.
it makes me giggle every time that I think about it because
Holy giggles.
Oh, holy giggles.
Hashtag
Holy
holy
giggles.
giggles, baby.
You guys still need to make t-shirts about that.
Yeah.
I need that merch.
We did this our knees are touching thing like smack in the middle of COVID too.
That is true.
Remember?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good thing we can't get COVID from our knees touching.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like if water feels wet on your hands. Just kidding. Just kidding us. And this is very serious, okay? We're serious. This is a serious podcast. But okay, favorite memories. I think the one of the ones that was like very, very controversial is when we explained to Gustavo what quesadillas are in Mexico City.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, like you guys, if you guys have been along for the ride, you guys know that we always talk about food.
We always end up talking
about food. But that was very controversial for our standards.
It was shocking to me. I was like, yeah, it's in the name. And if you go back and listen to the episode, that's exactly the answer that I gave with the same level of disdain. It's like, what's in the name?
And
What are we talking about?
to this day,
here?
he's not convinced.
He's not convinced. Need to take him to.
I need to get out more. That's
Yeah,
what
we need to go to Mexico
here.
City and have
Yeah, we
quesadillas.
need to go to Mexico City.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that's like las quesadillas with cheese or without cheese. That's like the number one discussion that we have had in terms of like culinary,
Yeah,
Mexican culinary culture.
that and the tamales, right?
That I was gonna say number 2 is
Mhm.
tamales,
Totally.
which it's up for debate, but we are at the time that we're gonna publish this post, we already had celebrated Candlemas, which by the way we should probably talk about because you got like the baby Jesus and the Rosca de Reyes and all
you
of
got
it got
one.
the baby
Mhm.
Jesus, so we need to get together to have
I
tamales.
think my dad got the other one too.
Oh really?
Mhm.
Isn't that convenient? Doesn't your dad do tacos or something like
Something
that?
like that.
I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but
I'll see what I can do.
there you go.
And well, I'll let you guys go with other podcast memories before I say the third one that I had.
I like it when we recorded the episode "Be Not Afraid." We talk about St. John Paul II and all the times that the Bible mentions not to be afraid. And it was a lively conversation about how to be more courageous in today's world and whatnot. And we finished recording, and I say, "Oh crap, it didn't record." And Walter's face was just like, "No mames."
That was
Like,
a good one.
Se asuste.
He got me. Be not afraid.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
I've been- Do you got one?
Man, there's so many moments. I feel like the times where we would just either you or me would just say something like out of left field and funny, and Gustavo would just lose his shit. And I probably shouldn't say that. But he would start laughing. There was like a few times, I think in the episode of Holy Week Part 2, when I did the joke of like, did you hear back? Jesus is back from the dead. Hi, DAs. And he just lost it.
Like that. I lost it like that. It still gets me.
Is a big fan of that. That joke always hits home.
That was funny. And then another one was probably when we had Ryan on and we were talking about homeschooling, because Nayeli and I had never really thought about homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, just like hearing you guys talk about it. And actually we talked about homeschooling after we recorded. We were just here in the garage, just talking about homeschooling. And I just started thinking about it. And then I talked to Nayeli, we prayed about it, and now we're homeschooling.
Oh, there you
Nice.
go.
Yeah, we
Good
just started.
job.
So yeah, that was it wasn't a moment on the podcast, but it happened after the podcast. We're just talking about that.
Well, that's what we're about, like trying to inspire people to maybe those conversations happen with other couples that we don't know.
Yeah.
If you're homeschooling because of that episode, praise be to God.
Yeah.
And if you're homeschooling because of that episode, we're sorry. Depending on how it's going,
If it's going well, praise be to God, and if it's going bad, like pray more.
Yeah, pray more. More patience. More and more patience.
We had a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun recording the podcast, and but obviously there were times where we couldn't get together physically to record the podcast, and we had to like do it either
like remote
or come up with something. And I don't even remember what episode it was, but we recorded it like maybe 2 times.
Yeah, dude.
And it still didn't work. It has been one.
And
of,
I feel like the
most
second time we
frustrating-
recorded it was like a very good one too.
Yeah. And we got like our software that we were using, our online platform, was like not clear about how they were gonna use your minutes.
Mhm.
So it kind of like recorded all of Ivan, all of me, and half of Walter. So it was just unusable,
Yeah.
And that was the first time I think we recorded remote, and because of COVID, a lot of good learning experiences, learning curve. But yeah, that one was disheartening because I really liked the conversation.
Oh man, it was so good.
Yeah. and
So
we
what
didn't
was it? I don't
publish
even remember if we
think
even
it was-
published it.
No, we didn't publish
No,
it.
we did Instagram live for
We
that
did it.
episode,
Mhm.
Yeah.
didn't we?
I think it was Advent of the Heart, part 2.
Oh, must have been.
Part
No,
1
I
or
think
part 2.
We did Instagram live, but then we took the audio from the Instagram live, and I think
Yeah, that
I
became
think
the
we put it
episode.
on.
We are resourceful like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it wasn't the best audio quality because it
Yeah.
was from Instagram Live, but
I think that's when we lost Ivan. He said, "I can't work under these conditions."
I'm out.
What kind of podcast
That
is
was
this?
it for me, guys. That was it.
Kind of Mickey Mouse operation are you guys running?
Plot twist. That's why I left.
It's not because he's running Don't Tackle full
Yeah,
time.
not because he has more important things to do. It
He
had to do
actually
with
had
technical difficulties.
Yeah, we had a falling out. He's kind of a diva. Just kidding. Just
I said
kidding.
I needed my own room. I needed temperature, water at this temperature,
exactly.
and you guys couldn't deliver.
Bubblies. That's all I asked for. Bubblies.
Mango
bubblies.
bubblies.
Was that too much to ask? No, thank you. I'm
How
out.
did I know that you were gonna go with mango bubblies?
Because you and I are the same person, as we've established multiple times.
He wanted a cup of like only yellow M&Ms.
Is that so hard to ask?
Yeah, it's like I don't think I'm the first one to ask for that.
It's because
Certainly
the
not gonna
yellow
be the
ones
last.
taste better than the red ones.
I mean, sure.
Yeah,
Get to be more inclusive, Ivan.
yeah.
We're not gonna get there.
I got when we did the episode on the 7 sorrows, we wanted to do actual devotion on air, to have people pray with us. I think we did the Divine Mercy Chaplet once, and that ended up being really, really well because we got through it in about, I don't know,
and because we knew the prayers.
And we knew the prayers.
We had prayed it before.
Multiple times. We got into the 7 Sorrows of Mary rosary or chaplet, and we didn't end up doing it because it would have been like an hour and 50-minute long episode. And we usually try to shoot for like a 45, 50-minute episode, sweet spot. And we were like 2 decades in, and we're like, okay, this is going to be really long. And we just had to cut it.
Walter just started being like,
yeah.
Like, no, lo estamos cagando. I will take the fault on that one because I didn't do my research. I was like, yeah, let's just there's the website, and then we can just follow along. And then we started actually reading it in real time, and we were all looking at each other like, bola grande, bola chica, bola chica, bola chica, bola chica. You cannot do that.
I prayed it before, but not like we do the rosary or the chaplet, where it's just like you can do it with your eyes closed, not with your mouth closed. But I wasn't like that connected to that devotional to know exactly where it was going. So yeah, that was kind of funny in retrospect.
yeah.
So now everybody's gonna start jumping to like these episodes.
So
like,
that episode is heavily edited, just so you guys know.
that was the one where Gustavo earned his keep editing all
Totally.
the audio
Yeah.
from the recordings.
Yeah, and that's another learning experience on my end because we first started doing it. We jumped in without knowing what we were doing. We just had the idea. We wanted to have conversations about being Catholic and being Mexican and have a beer or whatever every once in a while. But when we actually got like the into the nitty gritty, like the first couple of episodes that I edited took me about 4 hours each.
Now,
Yeah, dude. I said, this is not going to be sustainable. Yeah, because I edited it like the wrong way. And each channel, everybody got their own little cut. It was like a mess. And
So what changed?
I Googled stuff and said, how do you actually edit a podcast? And much simpler now. Went from 4 hours to pretty much 8 minutes that I found it now. Yeah. You're just using technology. Everything's built into the software if you know how to use it. Yeah.
That it went from 4. I mean, I know the first time it took you a long time, but I didn't know you brought it down to like 8 minutes.
That's so, crazy. I mean, it has to do with like what mics we were using and everything. But no, the technology, I was definitely not using it to its full potential. And I learned that the hard way. But here we are.
and this is a good segue to announce that Gustavo is now offering his course on podcasting.
It's on
If you want to
Skillshare.
start
Skillshare, yeah.
Skillshare. That is really funny.
I have one night we recorded 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like we only did that a few times, or maybe even a couple times. But there was one night that we recorded 3. I don't remember which 3 it was, but I remember the first episode. We were fine. It's just like, it was good. And then by the third one, we were so tired and delirious.
I don't want to look
we
at
were
your
just
face
laughing, but we were just like laughing for like any stupid thing.
Yeah.
But I don't remember which ones they were.
It's probably like the first 6
Yeah.
episodes of the podcast because I do remember those. Like after that one, I think we made 2 sessions where we were recording 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Like we need to do 2 max. Like tops is like 2 episodes max. Because in between setting up everything and then you get started, and we try to aim for like 45 minutes, so like 15-minute setup, 45-minute recording, bathroom break, and then we start the other one, 45 minutes, and then bathroom break, and then 45 minutes.
And then taking everything down. And then taking everything down.
And then taking everything down.
And then like moseying on home.
Right.
Yeah, you would get home pretty late.
Can you imagine doing a 3-hour, 4-hour podcast?
That's
Joe Rogan?
crazy. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I really love the long format.
Yeah, for sure.
Same.
But like, I think we have talked about it where like, you cannot
You can't
dedicate 3 hours
Yeah.
to like listen to a whole episode, even though the conversation is engaging. That's why we try to keep it to that I think like 40 to 45 minutes is like our sweet spot.
Yeah.
But there are definitely conversations like we just had Father Klein recently, like we mentioned, and that would have been like a perfect
2 hour at least.
2 hour
Mhm.
episode of just like going into all of the details of the beautification project for Saint Bernadette. But not all of those. Well, I mean, the Seven Sorrows rosary, but like people would have like been
Yeah,
asleep by
checked out.
the
Mhm.
second decade or whatever. Look it up. It's a fantastic devotion. If you
It
want
is,
to like
when you know it.
add it to your arsenal of prayers. Oh my goodness. Good times.
Yeah.
What else?
All the segues, man.
Yeah.
The segues.
Yeah.
It's just
Walter, the king of the
It's the
Segway.
king of segues.
See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like when now that we've had more
Practice.
guests on the podcast, we don't get to do a lot of banter. We just like dive in.
Mhm.
Which I think with Ryan, there was like one of those that we were still trying to do like banter and like being Latino and like putting the dishes in the
Oh, yeah,
oven.
the oven.
So that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
But you know, we should probably incorporate more of that because I definitely miss the banter now that
For sure.
Ivan is not here
Bantering.
when we are recording, because I feel like Ivan, I have to affirm you on this, because I think like the times that we would get like very, very serious or deep into some topic, you found a way to like lighten
it
the
up.
mood.
Yeah.
Dude, that was very good, because yeah, you know, I can get very into like
The nitty gritty.
yeah.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
But yeah. So and if you haven't listened to all of the episodes up to now and you don't know what we're talking about, look, this is a good invitation for you to like rehash all of those, and you know,
There will be a test. So
there will
just
be a
go
test
listen.
at the end. We're gonna have a
Binge
quiz.
on Barbatus
There you go.
Catholic podcast.
That's another
I
good
mean,
hashtag.
Yeah.
Binge Barbatus.
Binge Barbatus.
Which you were talking about merch. We have stickers coming up.
Nice.
Finally decided to pull the trigger on that, and
Only took a year to get some stickers.
Just the
Yeah.
logo? What do you?
Yeah.
and the website. So we'll hand those out.
I'm gonna put one right here.
Yeah, dude.
There you go. He's pointing to his laptop right next to
Dwight Schrute.
Yeah.
Right under Dwight Schrute with his face of the mannequin cut off, which is one of my favorite episodes, by the way.
It's
Like,
great.
how many office references do you think are in the podcast?
Not nearly enough.
Not
I
enough.
wish there were more.
Not nearly enough.
Yeah.
I've easily held back more than 10 times.
I feel like we've had to because
Yeah.
we
Because you don't want to alienate people, you know?
No.
Maybe not everybody likes The Office.
No,
And that's
I
fine.
can think of a few people that don't like The Office,
Mhm.
and one of them is going to be your guest coming up.
Oh, there you go. Well, thanks
I
for
won't
the
say
heads
any
up.
names.
Wait, really?
Thanks for the heads up.
Well, we're
I'll tell
not
you guys
gonna bring it
afterwards.
up anymore. So I guess
I'm pretty sure that when he hears this episode, he's going to be like, he's talking about me.
It's gonna be like, don't
Don't bring
make
up
the,
The
office references. Noted for.
It's gonna and just you wait. It's gonna be one of those instances where like Michael can't say the you know what, and I'm gonna be like, that's what she said.
Yeah.
You know, so
Really?
yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have so many people to thank in this year that this podcast has been in existence. I feel like this has been something that you two like took me up on this like crazy idea that I was like, we should start a podcast, and you're like, that sounds like a good,
a podcast.
we should totally. Everybody has a podcast these days. But first and foremost, obviously, thanks be to God for allowing us to make it this far, and you know, for keeping it going. Because we have been bringing this to prayer,
Mm-hmm.
and checking in with each other is like, okay,
What are we doing? Mm-hmm.
should we keep going? And you know, Ivan had like this wonderful opportunity to run his family business full time. I'm like, all right, this is what's best for you and your family.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
have to make those decisions, and and then I was like, okay, Gustavo, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Just keep it going. I'm like, all right, just keep it going. And all of this adapting and changing the format of the podcast has been such an exercise on like, all right, Lord,
Just trust, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
let's just get this. We joke that we're like the lower tier of the Catholic podcast, but in a way, we do this out of love for the faith, for having a voice to like um, sharing what we have learned along the way. In the words of Saint Augustine, we're just beggars
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
other where we found
Mhm.
bread.
Absolutely.
It's been a great exercise in fellowship for me too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because we're all dads of young families, and time for outings and friendship, it's tends to get scarce when you get like really, really into the family dynamic. So for me, it's been a great opportunity also to get to know you guys better, because I thought I knew you guys before, and through the podcast and through the stories and through the trials and tribulations of like learning how to do this and why to do it, it's been very revealing, and it's been our relationships, I think, have grown deeper as well as friendships. So it's been a good exercise in fellowship for me as well.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
It's a
No.
sophist.
It's definitely it's been a blessing to do this, to be a part of it. And it's very sad that I can't do it anymore, but I'm kind of glad that you guys invited me back to be part of the 1 year. It's a huge deal, but
Well, it was in your contract, so we're
That's true.
obliged to
I know
have you, because then you could sue us if
I
we
know.
didn't.
it's true.
Which,
You
by the
didn't
way, I
read
want
the
to
fine
say,
print.
I didn't, but
Well, there you go.
man, maybe I could have made a few bucks off of you guys.
Just a few bucks.
we'll pay you in stickers.
But yeah, no, it's been a ride, and it's been really cool. Like, I think it's a lot of fun when you get to really talk about the faith with other people that you share the same views with,
Yeah.
that you kind of see the same things as, yeah. So it's been, as much as I miss doing it. Yeah, I'm doing, I have to move on to bigger and not better things, but
Oh, there are better things. You can say it.
I mean, I think if there's going to be a Don Taco food truck that is going to be posting up probably on Greenway and Cave Creek
Ooh.
in the near future, I think that is making the world a better place.
Oh, for sure.
I'll just say it.
changing the world one taco at a time.
One taco.
I'm trying to build a taco empire, guys.
Yeah.
That's I gotta overthrow Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Is that even a fight? Well, anyway.
But
We'll
no,
see.
I miss it. I definitely miss doing the
Totally.
podcast, but yeah, and just trying to. This is what I'm doing now. Running the family business has definitely been a goal of mine, and now that I have the opportunity to do it, it's a I can't pass up.
Yeah. Full steam ahead.
This just goes to show you what good discernment is, guys.
Mhm.
Listen up.
It took a while. It took a while to definitely pray about it and think about it, but now we're here.
Yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
man, you guys are doing such a great job. Like all the guests you guys have had on, the great conversations. I mean, this is just gonna grow, and I'm stoked to hear it.
Well, we're gonna have you on plenty.
Whenever you guys want to talk about Lord of the Rings again,
Yeah, dude.
That-
And when Solanus
When-
gets canonized,
Canonized,
we're
yeah.
gonna have you
ooh,
on.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
when, not if, when. Which it's a very good segue to our next item. We want to give special thanks to Bless Solanus Casey for his patronage. Hopefully, if you guys have listened to the podcast and seen the logo, hopefully you know a little bit more about Father Solanus. And I don't think that this would have taken off the way that it did if it wasn't for his intercession, to be honest with you. Do you remember the day that we got the relics from the cloth that was touched to his tomb? I was like, oh my goodness. I gave away one of them to a fellow Persian at St. Joan of Arc that didn't know about Solanus. And then he texted me later. I was like, I just read all these things about Solanus. This is amazing. Thank you so much for the thing. I was like, no problem, dude. Like, just like trying to spread. We could probably do a better job about that, like I said. But I think that we have made it this long because of his intercession. All right. In interest of time, we really need to thank our wives for allowing us to be away from our families during the recording of the podcast. Honestly, I think that it has been such a blessing to have, like Gustavo said, take this as a time of fellowship, to take time away from our families to do the podcast, because we know that it's something that is going to have it's in the bigger scheme of things. It's like, hopefully if we get to convert one person because of all of the episodes that we have put out, I would be satisfied.
Worth it.
Yeah. So thank you so much, comadre Nayeli, Carolina, Diana, for putting up with us being absent from our families while we are doing this, and having fun and having all these conversations. Do you guys want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, echoing the same thing. I think it's a family endeavor, and obviously we talked about it with our spouses when we were first jumping in, that it was gonna be an investment in time. We wanted to do it right, and hopefully we are doing it right, and we're learning along the way. But yes, this doesn't get done without their sacrifice as well. And obviously, keeping the fort up afloat when we're talking and learning and just editing and doing all these things that it's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't know that it was going to be the investment in time that it is. But it's well worth it. And I think, props to them to keep us afloat.
Yeah. Same thing. It's they definitely have a hard job with a lot of us work, and my wife is a stay-at-home mom, and the last thing is, all right, I'm back from work,
see ya,
I'm gonna go record a podcast. That's a
have
lot.
fun with bedtime.
I know. So it's a lot, but I mean, it's it's so great when you have very supportive wives who are just gonna support you, and they want you to grow in fellowship with more men, and just have conversations. And
I liked it that at the beginning it was 6 likes or 6 listens for everything that we were doing, because it was us 3 and then and them.
Right.
So
that has grown quite a bit.
A little bit.
I guess you can say it's getting pretty serious. All right, next up on the list, we want to thank Father Dan Canelli and Deacon Andy Lambros for letting us record at St. Joan of Arc during the summer.
Studio B.
The Studio B, because, the garage gets pretty hot during the summer months. So thank you for letting us use that space. It has been a blessing for us to be able to use the facilities there.
Yeah.
And lastly, well, not lastly, some of the other people that we want to thank is the launch team that Ivan assembled. Helped me out here with names of who helped us out when we first launched a year ago.
I mean, it was pretty much our wives. Chilo Salinas, Esmeralda, our friend Kevin, so many people. I mean, I should have made a list. I wish I could edit it. I couldn't open the thing, so I couldn't edit it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
We took away some privileges.
I know.
You
It's like I literally you
Shun.
can't edit our document
Yeah.
anymore.
Shun.
But no, I mean,
Unshun.
so many people have really stepped up and yeah, I mean, they shared every time we
Mhm.
you know, we posted on Instagram. They got the word out and they listened to the podcast,
Mhm.
which is really cool. So thank you everyone who has helped launch this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're still they haven't unfollowed us on Instagram, so
That's true.
I think things are going good. We want to thank our sponsors. We've had a number of them. Don't Taco Mobile Taco Stand.
Hey.
We've had CMF Curo, Telos Art Shop, Inkledo Podcast and Coffee, and more recently, Discount Catholic Store, which has been fantastic to be part of. Those Catholic businesses that some of them are. Most of them, I guess, all of these are local to the Phoenix area,
Mhm.
and just like having that sense of like community to some extent, to be like we are supporting one another, even though we are doing this for not for profit.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, this is just a hobby of us that we're doing it. But this people had like faith in the project and are willing to like risk their reputation sponsoring a Catholic podcast. Excuse me. So who else? We want to thank our guests that have been on the podcast so far. Ryan Ayala, Father Daniel Cruz, AJ Enfield, Father Don Klein. I think this they have made this transition to like kind of an interview format
Mhm.
so much easier. And Ivan, you were here for like the episode with Ryan. It is like such an interesting conversation to have other Catholics from the Phoenix area to just come and talk about their experience of their walk with our Lord. And then, Father Daniel Cruz is just like a podcast. He's like the unofficial chaplain of the podcast. I'm just gonna say it. We're giving him another gig,
Another
without
job.
him asking for it. But I'm pretty sure that when he listens to this, he'll be all right with it. He's just probably gonna say
I think it's gonna be his favorite title.
Totally.
unofficial
has.
chaplain of the
Barbatus
podcast.
Catholic podcast.
I'm Father Daniel Cruz.
Why not?
You might know me as the official chaplain of Barbatus Catholic Podcast.
Or you may not know me for that.
And he's also the one that inspired the name.
That's
I told you,
true,
yeah.
because of the trophy that you got when you were working at Saint Genovese.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Barbatus Est. So when I saw that's why I pitched it to the
you're
guys,
right.
and they're like, Barbatus. So thank you, Father Cruz.
Yes. And I just wanted to mention a couple things that we have in store, because we want to give you like a teaser of what like's coming. We're obviously going to try to have more local Phoenix Catholics and maybe some other episodes where it's just Gustavo and I talking about several different topics about the faith. Right now we have a good like guest list of who we are thinking about inviting to the podcast to talk about topics that it would be relevant. But one of the things that we're like really excited about is right now we're cooking an episode with Father Mark Mary from the CFRs to talk about Father Benedict Rochelle, which is one of the founders of the CFRs, and he has a direct connection to Blessed Solanus Casey, because when Father Benedict Rochelle was I think a novice, he was in the same friary as Blessed Solanus Casey. So there's like a cool connection there. And then the fact that Father Mark Mary was gracious enough to give us time of day to like schedule something with us to talk to him about it. So we're like really excited about that. And, whatever else God has in store for us.
Is it me, or does Father Mark Mary look like a younger version of Father Benedict? A little bit.
A little bit. I
Huh?
can see that.
Le da viento.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
We
I
also
was just thinking about that.
do you remember that we also said that Father Mark Mary is kind of like a doppelganger of Father Klein?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. We have to. He's gonna be in Phoenix for the Blessed Is She retreat. We might bring that up. I don't know. Maybe.
You should crash that retreat.
Well, it is at
Wear
Saint
a wig.
Bernard.
I know.
Hey, wait. It's at Saint Bernard of Clairvaux.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm.
we know
You
someone
can have a table out there
that works there.
with stickers.
You should.
I
Hey,
know that this is
ladies,
a retreat for
Listen
ladies.
to this podcast about men talking about the faith.
Okay,
Yes.
you know what's funny? If you go to the insights on our Instagram page, like the split between men and women that are our followers is like 60-40
That's
women,
pretty-
men.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's all the wives telling the husbands what to listen to,
Yeah, dude.
That's good.
which we're okay with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good.
By any means necessary, just get listeners.
Honey, what can I do? You want to help me listen to this podcast?
Yeah. And take out the trash now.
While you are taking out the trash, put your headphones on.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're like really excited about what's ahead of us in this year, 2022.
Yeah, we're also looking into potentially getting again a video format to pair it, but that's still in the works. And potentially some new merch or some actual merch coming out other than the stickers. So yeah, that's some other stuff that we have cooking right
You
now.
have to have video. You guys have to show your handsome faces.
Oh man.
You have to.
I don't know. It's just like, the thing is, like, it's January right now, and usually we're not able to record in the
Yeah.
garage by like
So we're working out the
March?
logistics.
Mhm.
We're working on the logistics of it. But-
so. If I get the garage insulated and an AC unit, maybe. Not saying that I'm gonna do that.
That's why we need more sponsors. We need to insulate Walter's garage and put a
We
mini
actually
split.
need someone to remodel my garage so it's a livable space.
Yeah. Just insulate it and put a mini split. How much can that cost?
I mean,
A
right?
couple of sponsors can do that,
I
right?
have a deal that
Okay.
can insulate your garage.
No, really?
I mean, everyone has a family member
Oh,
that can do
it's
that.
just like because we're Mexican. Got it.
Got it. Good job, Ivan.
See, we're missing like that, like
It's
the
sazon, right?
the spiciness.
The spiciness of it.
Spicy.
But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, last call. Closing comments.
Well, it's been an honor, gentlemen, to share this with you, and
Yeah.
I can't wait what the next year holds in store for us. And praise be God, that He allowed us this opportunity, and all for His glory. We're just trying to advance, do our little piece of lifting here, to advance and spread the word, the good word, and it's been a blast. I think it's one of the most formidable experiences for me, because you also have to kind of like be on top of it. We gotta like learn our faith, because we don't just want to be talking nonsense out there.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we're delivering good content. So yeah, it's been a blast. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, I think sorry. Any man out there, whether you're married, single, discerning, young, old, doesn't matter. Like, give this podcast a chance. It's a great podcast where you just hear 2, sometimes 3 guys just talking about faith.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be anything too serious. It doesn't have to be anything that you should be afraid of, or even if you don't know your faith, that doesn't matter. It's just hearing a few guys talk about faith, life, and culture.
Yeah,
Talking about tacos, talking about alcohol, talking about just
life.
family,
Mm-hmm.
stupid things you did as kids. It doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah,
that's how you relate to somebody. That's how you get to know someone.
exactly.
So, yeah, any guy out there who is on the cuff, whatever, give it a listen, and yeah, any wives who if your husband's looking for a new podcast
Mm-hmm.
about the faith, give this one a chance. It's a lot of fun. It's so great doing this. Thank you for having me. It's been a blast. If you guys want good tacos, call Don Taco.
There you go.
There we go.
There's the
Shameless plug.
There's the
Shameless plug, but really, if you want good tacos,
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the source.
they are your people. Yeah, I guess I would just close by saying that I was thinking about what the podcast means to me, and I was like, well, we want this project to be successful because we think that what we are proposing is valuable. We want people to get closer to God. That in the end, that is our goal. We want to witness, and we want others to be inspired by the conversations that we're having. Especially, if you're Mexican, it doesn't have to be if you're Mexican, but we know that there can be an area of opportunity for other people like us that are not practicing their faith, and if they hear us talk about it, they'd be like, pues si ese güey puede, ¿por qué yo no? If that guy can do it, so can I. And that's, we're just like regular guys talking about faith, life, and culture. And that's what this is all about. And we're going to keep doing it as long as God tells us to keep on doing it. And this has really helped me to grow in my relationship with God in terms of like, I read about 10 books just to try and come up with material and content for the podcast. And I had fun doing that. So to me, just doing this, putting content out there and getting closer to God, to me, the rest is gravy, So very thankful for you too, for saying yes to my idea, and for everybody that is listening. Thank you so much, because if there's no audience, then this is nothing, right? We're just like talking into the microphones, into the void, and putting it on the internet.
But there's 10 people out there listening.
There's 10 people,
And one in
We know them.
Denmark. Where was it?
something like that.
We know them personally that they do listen.
Otto, if you're listening, thank you for listening in Mexico. You're like our most faithful listener in Mexico.
Carlos, you're my homie.
There you go. Yeah, Carlos always sends us direct feedback.
Even though he's mad at me right now.
I know, but this is for different things.
It's football.
Go Rams.
Yeah. Football ruins everything.
Okay, so while you're preparing for Super Bowl Sunday, we want to thank you for listening to this episode of Barbatus Catholic Podcast, the show where two Mexican dads talk about faith, life, and culture. If you like the podcast or got something out of this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Subscribe, like, comment, rate, and review if you haven't. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can buy us a coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/barbatus and follow the instructions. And if you buy us a coffee, you automatically get a shout out. And if you don't like the podcast, just keep it to yourself and let others make their own mistakes. You can find the show notes for this episode at barbatuscatholicpodcast.com. And on social media, we are on Instagram at Barbatus Catholic Podcast. And bless us, Solanus Casey.
Pray for us.
Until the next time.
Happy birthday.